Hello everyone, welcome to EPK Capital. Here we simplify wealth management and investments so you can build wealth for generations. As a bonus, I have created an in-depth guide to the 7 costly tax traps for high net worth NRIs, a strategic report on avoidance and compliance. You can download it simply by clicking on the link in the description. Let's get started now. Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, December 5th, 2025. The markets are sending mixed signals this morning as we sit on the edge of our seats for a crucial and very delayed inflation report. We've got a confused labor market, President Trump ramping up rhetoric on Venezuela, and Bitcoin consolidating just above $92,000. I'm going to break down everything that happened in the last 24 hours that you need to know before the opening bell. Let's dive in. First, let's look at the scoreboard from yesterday's close. Wall Street essentially treaded water on Thursday. The S&P 500 finished marginally higher, up 0.11% to close at 6,857. The Dow slipped slightly, down 32 points to 47,850, while the Nasdaq eked out a 0.17% gain to close around 23,454. But the real action was in the Russell 2000. Small caps jumped over 1%. Signaling that traders are still betting heavily on a Fed rate cut next week. Overnight in Asia, it was a tale of two cities. Japan's Nikkei 225 dropped 1% as the yen strengthened, sparking fears of a Bank of Japan rate hike. Meanwhile, in India, the Nifty 50 is trading near all-time highs above 26,150 after the Reserve Bank of India officially cut interest rates this morning, pouring liquidity into the market. Now, let's talk about the macro story, because frankly, the data is getting weird. Yesterday, we got 2 labor reports that completely contradicted each other. On one hand, initial jobless claims fell to 191,000. That is a 3-year low. It says nobody is getting fired. But on the other hand, the ADP report showed private payrolls contracting by 32,000 jobs. And the Challenger report showed layoffs are actually up 23% year over year. So, is the labor market hot or cold? This confusion caused the 10-year Treasury yield to tick up to 4.11%, as bond traders don't know if the Fed needs to cut rates to save jobs or hold rates to fight inflation. And speaking of the Fed, today is the big day. Because of the government shutdown we had recently, we are just now getting the September core PCE data. I know, it's December and we are looking at September data, but this is the Fed's favorite inflation gauge. If this comes in hot today, that 87% chance of a rate cut next week could evaporate instantly. In the corporate world, 3 big stories drove the action yesterday. Meta Platforms surged nearly 4%. Why? Reports are leaking that Mark Zuckerberg is finally cutting the budget for the metaverse by 30%. Wall Street loves cost cutting, and this is a massive signal that Meta is focusing on profitability over experimental tech. Salesforce is up after earnings. Their new AI platform, Agentforce, is seeing massive adoption, proving that AI monetization is actually happening for software companies. Kroger, however, crashed. They swung to a $1.5 billion loss. This is a red flag for the consumer staples sector. Costs are rising faster than they can raise prices. Moving to geopolitics, energy markets are waking up. WTI crude oil bounced back to $59.50 a barrel yesterday. This came after President Trump explicitly threatened to strike drug cartels in Venezuela very soon. If the U.S. takes military action in Venezuela, we could see significant supply disruptions. Keep an eye on oil prices today. If they break $60, it could put pressure on stocks. Also, Vladimir Putin is currently in New Delhi meeting with PM Modi. While this hasn't moved U.S. markets yet, the strengthening ties between Russia and India are keeping a floor under global energy demand. Finally, looking at crypto, Bitcoin is taking a breather. After flirting with $99,000 recently, BTC is consolidating around $92,300. We saw a slight sell-off in altcoins yesterday, with Ethereum down about 1.5%. Right now, crypto is trading like a risk asset. It's waiting for that PCE inflation data today. If inflation is low, expect Bitcoin to make another run at $95,000. If inflation is high, we might retest $90,000. So, here is your game plan for today, Friday, December 5th. Watch the PCE release this morning. It is the final piece of the puzzle before the Fed meets next week. If the number is soft, expect a rally into the weekend. If it's hot, cash might be king. I'll be back tomorrow with a full weekly wrap-up. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss it. Let's get after it. Not financial advice.